Well, I think part of the conversation that we are always paying attention to is what's going on socially for women and men that we're working with. And Me Too has emerged and is part of the fabric of social conversation. And wanting to support people in ministry, it felt important to continue that conversation with others.
So we were contacted by a group of women in church and asked to come and speak with them and give them a retreat for a few days to start navigating the conversation of Me Too, first of all, and then how the Me Too interfaces with church. And so we began this work then, and became quite clear to us that the silence within the church really was a part of the Me Too process for a whole group of women.
That space is so important, to have a safe space for women to begin to talk about Me Too before even talking about what it's like in the church. And I think that was a surprise for at least myself to learn this was a needed time, but also time that had not been given to women as an opportunity. So the importance of understanding who they were in the Me Too movement and the Me Too experience and how that informed their ministry was pretty powerful.
It didn't take very long for it to become quite clear that safe spaces had not been given to women in ministry to be able to approach this subject. Because then when they started to approach it, it was like the dam bursting with information, with stories that were very deep and profound. And then they had a community to talk about it with, a community of safety, mostly for the very first time.
Yeah. The solidarity was a building momentum, I felt like, during our time with the women. Allyship and empowerment really came out of that time together. But that slow wading into those waters, because of the kind of silence that had surrounded them previously, was, again, another really powerful and privileged piece to be part of.
Right. I think, too, that the women found their own empowerment in being able to name their own story. And then hearing other women's story. I think ministry is often a really isolating place for women to be. But this time they were not isolated. They were surrounded with other stories very similar to them, which begins this process of growth and recovery.
And I think anytime you find normalization and unity with other people and a sense of belonging in any of your work, it's so important and powerful, and especially around the topic and experiences of Me Too, even more powerful.
Okay, stop there.